info on me.
There we
Wait,
go.
wait, what do you do? Michaels.
Michael's
Hobby Lobby,
and
Michaels,
Hobby Lobby.
We
Joanne
have
Fabrics.
expensive places is what we have. The hobbies here are just like, if you want to get into cosplay, if you want to get into making stuff like that, the price to enter is the barrier. You're poor, good luck.
I will
You just
say
gotta go
this.
find the you gotta find the place that
Yeah,
sells the
there's
closed
so
cell
many
foam cheap.
options.
So
Yeah, you have
Once
these
you go
really
online.
cheap stores with cheap merchandise or cheap trinkets, glass stones for children for children
Toys, yeah,
crafting.
yeah.
Cheap toy stuff. It's a really quite interesting start for nice
just gotta
add-ons for
just gotta get good at
for the lobby.
repurposing the dollar store items.
Oh yeah.
And perhaps
Seen some
follow
of the
the
mi-
old ladies that are still knitting. I think knit stores are also a quite good place for finding this.
Yeah.
Them I actually got at Walmart.
Yeah, we have a place called Joanne
Walmart.
Fabrics that's
Yeah,
like that
exactly.
here.
All right, we ready to start?
Yeah, we are live. So
Woolworths.
so when last we left them, we were just finished up meeting the Queen and getting Navari to kind of join the crew, correct? And you guys were discussing that, and
We
I
managed
believe
it.
you.
We had said yes.
Okay, I was gonna say I believe you
Yeah,
decided that
yeah,
it was a yes.
They
We
convinced
said yes with the
us
caveat
that
that if she fucks up, we'll kill her. Yeah.
if
Yeah.
then this turns out.
Folodar did not agree to any of that, but
Fulgar was like, "What are you guys doing?"
What was the name now again from the
Navari.
Navari, you talking about Navari Soul?
Navari.
Yeah, Navari. Yeah.
What a great negotiation that was.
Yeah, we flew by the skin of our pants there.
Oh no, it could be worse. We got 5,000 golds. We have a company for the quest to north, so we have a legitimate business in the north to look for the people who got into our brains. So
Yeah,
we are
and we-
in the
Even
best
somehow,
position we
even
can
though
Just like we drew it up.
no one like really communicated, so we were all on our own pages.
Right? It worked out though. It was a fun session.
I'm sitting there like, okay, so we all agreed that I'm gonna be the spokesperson, and that was like 5 minutes, and then we all just threw something in there.
This went out the window.
It worked. So
It worked, although it was funny. You're like, don't be your normal self. Cutler just went, all right.
Last night when we were doing the Wilder Beyond the Witchlight
and
session,
it was not
man.
night, so no moonlight action.
there was a little part where we went way off the rails. It was pretty funny.
Those are the best moments. The moments where it just goes completely off track.
I was terrified. Okay?
We were talking about like Daniel's character, not the Daniel in here, but Daniel's character in the Wilder Beyond the Witchlight. His name is Mr. Hopstewart. He's a Harengon.
Nice.
So he's like, this rabbit character, and he's talking to this little kid, and the little kid's a little annoyed with him, but he's also like, just unsure, and and it just went all like, creepy, almost like, and I'm like, so I couldn't help myself. I was like, you want to see my lucky rabbit's foot?
Kicks the kid in the face.
It's like, jeez.
Noise.
You want to see my rabbit foot? It was nice. Yes.
It went all creepy pedophile on, yeah, I don't know, it was weird. Anyways, but it's funny though.
Different wipes.
All right, so so you guys are going to head out, or are you guys going to spend some of your hard-earned cash, or like what do you?
We
I
are
think
not
the best-
spending
I
that.
have
Yeah,
to.
yeah, we're
I
not
have
touching that.
to make an. Felon has to make an withdrawal from the company funds. I need a crucial item.
How much does it cost?
Oh, you know what? We should.
I think
we
it's
should.
just a common,
post a
just a
couple
common
places,
magic
too.
items. It's the Ruby of the War Mage. I hope that because we are in the
City.
Bubble Dragon City,
Ruby of
so
the
they
War
have the
Mage,
Bubble
yes,
Dragon War
yes.
Mage, that I probably can get hold of one of them, and they're I think 500 gold. I have 200. I would give my last 200 gold, so I have still a little bit cash left. So I would need 300 from the treasury. So
Well, that's up
Felon
to-
would ask.
That's up to Jess and Tesha. She's the treasurer.
Yes, that would be an ask. Felon would ask humbly, Tessa and Jessa, whoever
Let's
is
hope you
it.
get the more palatable one of the two.
Oh, I think you can go with those.
Can I make that?
What is going on with Facebook? Guess I'm doing some weird stuff on me.
Oh boy.
I'm trying to send, trying to post to a couple places that we're live in that. Oh, there we go.
Polidar sits very quietly, just sitting at a table, trying not to say anything to the new party member that we have now.
Sitting there awkwardly.
Just writing
Oh, yeah,
gibberish.
she would also be a good, probably a good way to get a hold of a Ruby of the War Mage.
True. I mean, she seems to be experienced.
Navari might even have one.
Who knows?
Yeah, because I think the Moonblade, if I want to use them probably, and I'm not an Back of the Blade guy, I would need the Arcane Focus for the Moonblade. So that would be a nice addition, so I can still cast with holding the thing in both hands.
I think the Moonblade is an arcane focus. The Edict,
No,
the
unfortunately
Edict Blade?
not.
No, that's
Not
not.
that I thought of.
Okay.
Not that I thought. Not that I think it's just the Eldritch Blade was it was before that was the Edict Blade with
Yeah, the Edict
extra
Blade.
bonus against goblins.
Yeah.
And the little bit of shining in bright light and dim light in darkness. And now it's at +2 bonus to attack and damage roll.
Yep. Yeah.
If
Okay.
I die and someone either gets the blade, the next one gets an additional bonus depending on my
Bernie,
rune
I-
that's getting.
I can
No,
make
you
this
please
Ruby,
don't kill
right?
me just to get the Moonblade. What, please?
What was that, Steph?
Right?
What'd you say?
I can make the Ruby, right?
Can you make the ruby?
Probably, but I think it's just a waste of time.
You mean
You can
for
get it here.
for what now?
For 300.
The Warbeard or War Mage.
Oh, can you make that? Yeah, probably. I mean,
I mean, it's a common item. That wouldn't take me too long, right?
If you would take.
it would probably take it would probably take a little bit. They're common though, so I mean, is that what you're talking about? The Ruby of the War Mage?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, it's common, so I mean, you could probably make it.
So, Janika will remind the party that we still need to drop off that cart.
It takes about a week's worth of crafting time.
That's the thing I worried that would Felon worry about.
Which
you
a
know,
week
yeah.
a week is essentially 10 days here. So,
Yeah. So it would be easier to buy.
but it's a work week, so it's like more like 7 to 9 days. But you know,
My God, I completely forgotten about that delivery, Januka. I suppose that they sent you here for a reason.
Exactly.
well, you do know that the delivery is going to Heronshire, where you guys agreed to go to anyway. So,
Not to mention, I still have my reservations about being attacked.
Okay, I guess I can give you 300.
So that Felon would gladly take the 300 from the.
Are you-
test.
are you saying 300 for a Ruby of the War Mage?
No.
No, he's like, I'm just
I'm
He's
like
just
that.
borrowing 300 gold out of the treasury.
Yeah, for what though?
So he can combine it with his gold to get the Ruby of the War Mage.
Ah,
I
okay.
have still 200 left. 217 to be precise and 6 silver. And I would 200 plus 300 would be 500, and probably enough for a Ruby of the War Mage.
Hold on.
Please,
Borrow,
perhaps?
borrow only 200, and I'll help you out by giving you 100 because you helped me out previously in the campaign.
Oh yeah, I forged your thingy. Yes, yes, exactly. I made you the nice So just
Yeah.
200 on the treasure chest.
Which one are you right now, Jessa or Tessa, Steph?
Tessa.
He axes Tessa for 300 gold and gets it immediately. I asked Jessa for a small
No,
pittance for books and get none of it. Perhaps I was talking to the wrong twin.
Not for free. No, not for free. No, 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 no. Please note that I withdrawn 200 from the treasure chest. I would try to reinstall the withdrawal as soon as possible. It would just be a nice transaction.
I just him to
Any
pay
promo.
us.
Yes, exactly.
I pay you back in knowledge. Is that not what my primary attribute is here?
Cutler just speaks up. Knowledge doesn't pay the bills, bro.
If you're not applying it correctly.
Oh, he
And of course, when she stole us money out of the bag of holding, she pulls out like the hand of the dead body.
After all, isn't it not knowledge which allowed us to walk away with 5,000 gold up front?
I don't know what happened back there, but it was not enough.
Wonder
On
why
the
that's not on there.
contrary, we had the knowledge of what our dear queen loved, disliked, and of a new world beyond the stars. All things that helped us secure the money.
Do you know what that knowledge about the queen did?
Louis painting.
Well, it definitely did a
We
lot.
were nearly motioned to be killed.
Yes,
Ooh.
because someone does not use knowledge accordingly. And then I kind of rip a scroll. Just in like anger of what happened. Just
Please tell me he just ripped the spell scroll.
you know, I don't. Do I have a spell? I think I do have a spell scroll too. I think
You should rip it just for roleplay. Come on.
wholeheartedly because I don't have any use of spell scrolls myself.
No.
Yeah, you know, that's one thing I will take from Baldur's Gate 3 for my games is anybody can use a spell scroll.
Yeah, that's what
Oh,
that's why I actually had a differentiating thing where basically like anybody in the game can use a spell scroll. I have like a scroll with a spell on it is a spell scroll.
Uh-huh.
Whereas you could have a scroll of something like a scroll of protection, which anybody can use anyways, but you could have a spell like a scroll of fireball, and it would still be, usable by anybody.
You know, that was the reason why I took and handed several characters a scroll bless. That way they could, not bless, but shield, so that they could take and use that.
Yeah, Cutler over here not knowing how to do magic is just like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
That was the thing. You don't need to know how to do magic. You just
Just need to be able
You
to
just need
read.
to know how to
You have
read.
to believe.
Read.
No,
I'm a barbarian! Cutler doesn't give a shit about that stuff.
yeah, he just rip it anyway.
It's okay if you can't. I can
Maybe
help.
that's how Cutler casts it.
Right.
When he rips the scroll, it does a retributive strike type of thing, releases the magic inside the scroll and
I
casts
would
it.
totally play a character like that.
Oh, back in the day, the barbarian was illiterate. So
So after Fallon gets his ruby, are we headed out to kill some stuff?
yes.
I mean, I'd assume.
Hey, I'm down for
Hopefully.
some murder, I suppose.
Is that what we're doing?
I'm rather sarcastic about it too. Just like I suppose murder is probably our best interest. I mean, it's not something that requires.
It's been a
knowledge
couple
of
days
war.
since I've murdered somebody. I suppose I better
Don't
go out.
forget-
Well, only like a day for Tessa.
Right.
Even a day, but I need to do
By the way,
that.
how much do I still owe my crew?
Oh yeah, we forgot about that actually in its entirety.
I
I
thought you
completely forgot that you're.
made it.
I thought you paid them actually.
I don't know if I owe them anything or if I paid them off.
Didn't you?
Yeah, I don't know if I paid them off or not. I don't know. Whatever the DM has in the notes.
I mean, you're probably gonna have to
you did.
continue paying them if
Yeah,
they're
for
gonna
sure, you
continue.
gotta-
Well, yeah, you have to pay your crew continuously, but
Yeah,
I think
monthly,
I think
right?
the outstanding fee was mostly paid. If
Alright.
not, there was only like 100 gold left or something like that.
Okay.
because it was fairly low because you had took a bunch of stuff and put it on that.
And we've insured your vehicle to the stars.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, not quite. We
We
haven't.
need more than 5,000.
We are on a good way to that, yes. I
Oh.
think we still need some crucial parts that we probably cannot fathom here. So we still need a Spelljammer helm, and that's the
Not that, but
part
doesn't
that
this thing,
Sheldon most of worried about, because seeing that in the stars is quite difficult.
doesn't this
This
thing also
time-
need to be converted into an airship first?
No, you can convert it from a regular ship straight to a Spelljammer.
Yeah,
But
just
it's no 5,000 gold.
No, 2,000 to 25,000.
Is it 20
no,
or
no,
25?
no, no. It's
25.
no. It's 25,000 to convert it to an airship.
Oh, jeez. How much is it? 100,000?
Yeah, it's something like that. I think it's like 50 or 60,000.
We went over this at the end of last session. We all misheard him. He said,
Yeah, because you could buy a spelljamming ship for 25,000, provided that somebody has a spelljamming ship to sell you,
"But you."
Yeah, but-
more
and
likely
provided
than
that
you-
somebody and provided that somebody would sell you that spelljamming ship that they thought was worthless for only 25,000.
And it's used, you know? Probably got like
But
over
it can
100,000 miles on it.
So,
You get that just by going to the stars.
100,000 gold, correct?
100,000, yes.
Okay.
No, for 100,000 for a fresh build Starjammer.
We're planning on fresh building.
But how much isn't just an upgrade for an galleon? But I think that we saw a galleon ship like thing.
Yeah, I said it'd probably be
Well,
50 or 60,000 for
Yeah.
for if you were converting the burning bitch into a spelljamming ship, then it'd be 50 or 60,000. That's what I said probably.
Okay, so
See?
50, 60,000. So
Yep.
we need put 60. Just put the higher one.
Not to mention, you have a master negotiator here.
Yes. Well, if we can, if we put down, he's trying to
Where?
say himself.
And probably if we can, yeah, if we, the Illithid colony that we are trying to get rid of, that we are.
Who knows?
now,
Maybe we'll
really-
find some technology there that we could actually use for our adventure.
Exactly. A little bit of loot and the pillaging would be quite necessary, and the Moon Knight would be quite happy for a little bit of pillaging.
Are we ready to head out?
And here I thought barbarians were just brutes. You
No.
impressed me yet.
We need
Well, what?
60,000,
One thing I will say,
correct?
What was that?
last thing with Polidar though is next time, do not throw coins at royalty.
I like how he's focusing on what fucked up with Polidar and everybody else he's just like, whatever.
Not free, no. Well, hardly bothered by such a thing. I thought royalty loved when you gave them your money.
They do, but they don't like it being thrown at
I don't
you.
like being thrown at them.
That's part of his master
Quite
negotiations.
hypocritical.
Are we ready to head out?
You can get what you pay for.
So, we need 60,000.
Get what
correct?
you pay for.
60,000, yes.
Okay, wrote it down so I can keep track of that. So let's head out and earn some money, people.
Alright, Cutler walks up to his ship and says, "Let's go!"
No, yeah, we have to go to the north. We have to leave the city by foot.
Yeah, you gotta go by foot.
I just start mimicking pirate jargon. I just go around. Anchors up, sails down, hard to port.
I don't think those are exclusively pirate terms.
Those are sailor terms.
I see. Arg,
Arg,
to the left.
arg.
Color's gonna use this moment. Ahem. Say it more with your belly. Arg!
Making landfall.
You sound like you're having a stroke.
Is that not pirate sounds?
No.
I'll make a note of it later. Sail on, everyone! Ahoy!
Also, Folidar has just informed me we actually have to walk.
Yeah, we do have
This is
to,
true.
So let's go.
Oh wait, Fallon, not Folidar. He is Folidar. Fallon has just informed me we have to walk.
Grab your gear. I need my umbrella. It's still daytime, I think.
Oh,
Yes, the daytime.
Oh,
Because
we do take
you're
them
not
in-
helping the vampire allegations here.
No, it's totally fine.
Hey, some
Wait,
of us
Jeff?
are sensitive in the sunlight. All right.
Wait, yeah,
I'll throw up my hood,
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I know, I'm making
a
that joke because we kept
pale
calling him,
elf.
because I kept calling him a vampire before.
Vampire.
not fighting the vampire allegations.
We do
Hey, just
return
take
the ship.
umbrella.
Yeah, we returned the ship because he needs to grab an umbrella or something. So
Right. Well, I also need to change back into my armor. I'm not walking around in my royal
In
dress.
his evening gown.
Please, everyone, let's get ready to
His ball gown or whatever.
adventure out there with a little bit of fighting and purring.
I'm not gonna lie, a monk being a noble could be a pretty fun build because you could actually just wear your noble clothes wherever you go because of unarmored defense.
Guess what?
could,
Would you
yeah.
want to? Oh no.
That's a good point. I don't want to get my. If I were a noble monk, I wouldn't want to get my clothes dirty.
Right.
Well, I mean, that's one of your personality traits. You don't want to get your clothes dirty.
Not a single
Maybe-
drop of blood.
Maybe you pick up the spell the cantrip prestidigitation via the magic initiative feat just so you can be like, oh, I got blood, clean,
You take your whole first turn to roll up your sleeves.
right? I'm gonna use my bonus action to roll up my sleeves completely.
Alright, so I assume we're all ready to go?
Yep.
I've
All right,
packed
so
as
you-
many books as I need as I hold up the one book that can never run out of pages.
All right. You
I'm,
you head out of the you head out of the
Of course,
town.
we take with us, right?
What's that?
We take the cart with us.
Yes. Yes, you have to take the cart with you. That was kind of the one of the
Okay.
reasons for going there to begin with, and that's what they had sort of agreed to, but they forgot all about it. But it's okay.
Oh no, you don't forget it. That's our cover. Called a
So
cover.
you guys head northward out of the Horn Gate, and
If Niall can ride in the cart, she can.
yeah, I was gonna say there's a couple people could ride on the cart. If you guys need to requisition horses before you leave, you could. I mean, you could rent a horse fairly cheap. Of course, if it dies along the way, you may buy the horse, but that's neither here nor there.
I mean, we have 3 zombies to pull a cart. I think we'll be okay.
Oh, you already have a horse for the cart, but I'm saying
we have a horse
I'm
for-
saying riding horses.
So we just take the cart horse and ride it, and use the 3 zombies to pull the cart.
So I don't think all 6 of you will fit on the horse, but that's up to you, I guess.
No, I'm quite fine walking.
By the time you're done, the horse is a zombie. Okay, so all right, so you guys are head northward out of the Horton Gate, and as you travel along the road, it takes you probably about the better part of a day to get up to where Heronshire and Thurmaster is.
Before we leave, as we're unloading the cart, I will cast the Fine Steed spell.
Okay, so you'll have an extra horse.
So I will have an extra horse, yes.
Okay. All right. So then, as you guys are traveling along the road, you see several like people coming into town as you're leaving. And the further away you get from town, of course, the fewer and fewer people you see on the road. Several of them regard you rather like suspiciously, and one of them like this bard, who seems to be kind of, you're not sure what, as you guys are walking up to him, you're not 100% sure if he's walking towards you or walking away from you, because of the idea that he kind of keeps walking in kind of a circular V, like a circular figure 8 type of pattern. And so it's almost as if he doesn't know whether he's coming or going. he sees your group and he kind of says, "Oh, well met."
And you as well, my good sir.
He says, "And where are you off to today? This fine day."
If I may regale you with the tale, we are but a soon budding legendary merchant group.
Hold on.
One that hopes one day to traverse even the stars themselves.
He says, "Oh, well, that is a lofty goal for sure." He
Our
says,
lofty has nothing to do with it. All goals are realistic if given enough push.
I believe so." He says, "And so you're off to the north here. I see you're traveling generally north."
That appears to be the direction, yes.
He says, "Well, I mean, safety in numbers, I always say, and you know, you could use one more, right?"
Not
We're
really,
back
no.
to the 6 other people in this party at this point, including Navari, of course. And then I just like look at him and I just be like, well, I have been quite parched for the sound of song lately.
What are you going to pay us to travel with us, or?
He says,
No, the other way around. He pays us to travel with us.
Exactly, that's what I'm
That's what he
asking.
said. That's what she said.
Sorry,
He says, "Well, I could pay my way with song."
No,
What a
Oh.
bard.
Mm,
Christ. Listen, friend,
We've
not
already
sure.
got one person who wants to pay in knowledge. We don't need somebody paying in song.
very useful. Just a reminder. Friend,
How about I have an opportunity offer. How about let's call it shares of your songs. Like if you stop by in the next tavern, you play a song, get some gold, you share a specified percentage with us.
we really just asked this man for royalties on his IP.
He says, "Well, okay. So here's the deal. I'm trying to go to Heronshire. Forgive my rudeness. Pluck's the name. Trying to get to Heronshire myself, and well, I would like to, pay you. I believe that I could possibly accomplish this easier once I already arrived there."
Go on.
He says, "Well, as your friend here said, once I get there, I have a gig at a local tavern there, and I'm sure I could make some extra coin and pass some your way."
A gig, you say?
And he says, "Yes, I'm perhaps going to play somewhere in Milbourne."
Perhaps do you have like proof, like employment people?
Proof of employment? I don't
Hold on now. I
don't
think
believe
we were a
so.
bit harsh earlier. You know, we were just thinking about how short-handed we were in manpower. And in addition, a bard such as yourself provides an excellent addition to this dynamic.
Now he's taking it upon himself to make decisions.
You know, in reality, we have like nine bodies or 10 bodies.
Those hungerless mouths, I wouldn't quite count them, but I do have a suggestion. If you are so inclined to listen, Pluck, was it?
Yes, Pluck.
Pluckster. We are in need of brand recognition.
You want to
Brand
hire
recognition?
one?
Yes, you want me to make a song about you. I think I see where you're going with this.
I'm glad you do. Tell me, are you as good a writer as you are a musician?
Well, I've been known to spin a tale or two.
Okay, what did I miss when I walked away? What is pluck?
Pluck is the bard.
He's a buff.
a bard that was walking
What
in
race
figure
is he
eights.
though? Like,
He's human.
okay. Why is your name Pluck?
He says,
Human.
ah, and he pulls out a lute off his back and he plucks at it a little bit. He says, I
So-
thought
so
it would
that-
be obvious.
So that's not your real name then? That's your stage name?
He says, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Disney.
But
Um,
in exchange for escorting you along our merry trip, of course you pay for your own food. Happily do so free of charge if you will spread our legend across the lands.
He says,
I'll do you one better, and then I take out of my own pocket 3 gold. And I
this is
just
why I don't
Cutler,
give you
Cutler has an idea. Cutler has an idea. Not to mention, I have a crew for my ship that would probably pay you pretty well if you're actually a good entertainer. Hell, they paid this guy. He points to Folidar. What was it? 50 gold for telling that story?
yes, the story that started our journey to the stars. I assumed we all unilaterally agreed we wanted to do.
he says, oh yes, I could definitely, possibly, think of something to do that way, and I could probably earn my keep, working with you, and performing for your crew as well.
Great. I'll write your first song. Come along. We have much to
Yes,
discuss.
we have
Just one
still
thing
away
before-
to the north.
Hold on. What was that stuff?
One thing before we start. If you will not pay us back, I will find you and make you pay in your blood.
You'll get used to her. You're gonna love it. It's great here.
Says, yes, I understand.
So, Pluck, do you pluck the strings when you play? Because that would be quite uneventful, honestly.
It says, well, sometimes, yes, that's why I'm called that.
We'll work on that. I've just decided to distract myself by micromanaging a musician.
Now, are you? Let me do an out of game thing here with Daniel. Daniel, are you familiar with Pluck? Do you know who Pluck is? Because I don't know when you joined the Friday night crew there. That was with Tom and them.
Oh, geez,
Do you remember anything about a Lizard King?
I remember the adventure with Blizzard King. I don't remember Pluck.
Okay, all right. Okay, so I didn't know if you were on that adventure, is what I was saying. Like, I didn't know if you joined in during that adventure or whatever. But yeah, okay. Okay. Back to this group.
Yes.
All right. So he says, yes, we can definitely work something out.
Well then, are we team as a unit?
Okay. He says, well then, also, before we go, there have been lots of rumors. I tend to kind of collect those. There have been lots of rumors of bandits along this trail here.
At this point, Cutler would just pull out his glaive. Fear not. As he sees kind of flames shimmering off the blade. Even though it's pink and elegant looking, it has the flames flowing off the blade.
It's pink and flamey.
Yeah.
All right.
Perception. I would like to take a close look at our boy Plucky.
He's fairly plain looking. He's wearing like a green tunic and breeches, and for an out of game reference, he looks a little bit like Robin Hood, including the feather, like including the traditional like stereotypical feather in the cap type of thing.
He adds to our colorful little group. Insight. I would like to see if it shows that he has any fighting ability from his body.
Yeah, okay, go ahead and make an insight check. you're fairly certain that Pluck has the fighting ability of a very strong-willed
Paper bag.
child. So, he might be able to hold his own in a fight against a couple other people, but not like anything
Those
serious.
pretty mean kids.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. A
But I
strong-willed
mean,
child. A strong-willed child.
All right.
Plucky,
Is
you wouldn't
there
by any
good
chance be
background
using
music?
us to avoid death.
He says, "Well, absolutely. I think that would be the best use of you as traveling companions."
Cutler just looks at him. At least he's honest.
Yeah, fair enough. You'll be a great addition to the crew.
Let's just say the last bandits to cross our path stayed in the path.
What about the zombies we have? Is he reacting to those at all?
Are they even with us? Are they still
Yeah.
on the ship?
No,
Oh,
They're with us.
They're,
Oh, wait, they're disguised as
They're with you,
our
yeah.
guards.
they're disguised as guards. Yep. So he doesn't take too much note of them until you guys get traveling again, and you notice Navari is kind of sitting on the back of the cart, and she kind of says, "I think you need to stand back here near our three friends, Loot Boy, where I can keep an eye on you."
well, I keep an eye on her, so.
Don't keep too close of an eye on him.
Is that a hint of jealousy I detect, Fuladar?
She
Who exactly?
Oh no, she's just suspicious of him. Just the guy that we picked off on the road.
Are you jealous that Navari's going to be having her eye on someone other than you?
Who are you to assume that I am not jealous that the Loot Boy will be changing his attention?
The defensive nature answers my question.
You are not a master of tact, as I.
I wasn't trying to be tactful. I was
You?
being blunt.
I'm sorry, you're fairly easy to read.
So you reach the town of Milbourne. It's a town of some 160 people, most of whom live on the farmsteads that surround the sides of a small river. There's buildings made almost all of wood. They're all like it's a small village type of thing. The only the old granary, the mill house, and there's like a manor house that have stone in the, made from limestone. And pretty much everybody here looks like either a farmer or a farmhand, or some other small village resident type. They seem like everybody here pretty much is here because they belong here or because they live here, not because anybody specifically traveling. You guys are kind of out of place when you get there.
I have place everywhere.
Yeah. There are a couple people who come into town as you guys are getting settled. He takes you. Pluck leads you to a place called the Baron of Mutton, and it's a tavern. And he says, "Now, I have a gig here." He says, "But if you notice there across the way here, there's another small tavern known as the Silver Crown. If we play our cards right, I will have a gig at both places."
When you say play our cards right,
Who do I have to kill?
He says, I don't know that killing anyone will help."
Intimidation?
He says, "That might work."
Cutler just pops his collar. Point me to, I got a scare.
He says, "By the way," and he leans into Tessa just slightly and says, your friends could really use a shower. And it kind of goes back to, he says, no, if someone would kind of, oh, I don't know. He looks over at Janyuka and he looks over at Navarre. He says, looks kind of at Foladar. He says, someone with
Class.
worldly tastes could wander over to the Silver Crown and talk about how fabulous the player at the Baron of Mutton is. Then perhaps they would want me to come over there as well, which would also increase my earning potential.
While that may be true, as a businessman myself, there's also a possibility that that causes a war between the two bars.
Yeah, so we could probably not trying to intimidate the next bar owner just to make a little bit of advertisement.
No, not even that. God forbid. Okay, if the other bar hears that this bar has a good bard in it, it may cause a war instead of him getting both jobs. The two bars might fight over which one gets him.
A bidding war, you say?
Yes.
No, he just plays in both.
Businesses don't work like that. It's
Well,
competition.
If he's recommended after he plays, perhaps. I think this is an opportunity to take the work that's been laid upon us and turn it into our profit once again, my friends.
Now you're thinking like I think.
Say, Pluck, what song were you going to perform at this bar anyway?
He says, well, I was going to perform many small shanties and such, but perhaps the Ballad of the Lizard King.
We want a grand spectacle. My
Isn't
friend,
it epic?
are you under contract with this bar?
Agreement. So I suppose, yes, verbal contract.
Verbal. Okay, the courts don't give a shit about verbal.
Courts?
May
You're
I?
in Milbourne. I don't think there's a court for miles.
That's even better. Who's going to enforce the contract if you decide to leave to the other bar?
This is true, but I'm a traveler, and I want to make sure I have a place to stay when I can't afford the place the Silver Crown. The Silver
Whichever one
Crown.
bids highest.
But one more question. What's the matter with this? Because he can still play in this, get his money, and go after that to the other bar. What's the problem?
Because businesses don't work like that. Businesses compete. The fact that there's one bar on the side of another tells me that someone saw this bar was successful and decided they wanted that for themselves. Meaning these bars are rivals.
Are you coming from here? You're
It's
assuming
business 101.
You're a pirate.
Pirating is business, thank you.
That's not pirating. That's just two bars in front of each other. That's yeah.
If I may,
They're not in front of each other. They're not across the street from each other. They're across town from
Leaning
each
over
other.
to Kablooey and being
I
like,
don't really, like,
Sorry,
make her-
hold on 1 second.
We're-
1 second, guys. Time out. Time. Daniel's been trying to talk for like 2 minutes now. Go ahead, Daniel.
the plan is to let him play at bar 1. Then we go to bar 2 and say, oh, how great this bard was. So bar 2 will go, oh, we must get this bard, and they take and hire him to play. That way both places pay him, and then he gives us a cut of his pay.
All right.
So we don't get their rivals because one has already paid him, and the second will pay him later. And if they fight over him after we leave, we don't care.
if you will, I have a suggestion, and I just want to hear everyone's thoughts on it. Why not have him play his small shanties at the first bar, and then play part of an epic, but he does not finish the story. From there on, it's just a matter of what bar he finishes the story at after.
Why do you have to make it too complicated?
Because the other bar is not a shore jet.
Because all he cares about is knowledge.
Story never ends.
Yeah.
All right. So, Stephanie, you were gonna say something too, or before Daniel, or like while Daniel's.
No, I agree. I mean, like, the other thing is we can try to be our own entertainment, so works for both of us.
Right. Okay. All right. So Pluck, he says, you guys, if you guys negotiate with the people at the Silver Crown for me to play there, or just talk me up and give me a job there or whatever, he says then I can do that later in the evening. He says these, he says it's strange, but poor folk usually don't have a problem parting with their coin. He says it's the wealthier folk who seem to have a little bit of a problem parting with their coin. He says, and here at the Baron of Mutton, I'll go and I'll perform and I'll get some coin quickly, while over at the Silver Crown and they're hearing about me. I'll go over there later, much later, and that way the fine wines that they have there will have loosened their pockets, perhaps.
Okay.
Variable is a plan. I'm in.
But what if you suck?
What if I suck? This is a good
Coming
question.
from Kablooey, that is absolutely golden.
This is a good question. He says, "Well, I will try my best, Master Kobold, not to suck."
That's good enough for me.
You're too easily pleased.
And the entire time that we've hosted you this past day, we've actually never heard you play.
He says, yes, well, he says, well, I suppose you'll have to attend one of my sessions or one of my songs."
Not inspiring a lot of
How about a few of you listen to the first performance, where the others are making the advertisement for the second one? So you can have an eye on him and evaluate his worthiness for more business opportunities.
So he kind of like starts to head into the Baron of Mutton.
Tessa.
Oh.
It is Tessa currently, right?
Yes.
I get the feeling that among all of the others in the party, you hate my quest for knowledge the most.
It's not practical.
Ah, yes, practicality. The thing that stopped most historians. I want to wager an idea.
It's like Jessa didn't seem to mind as much.
Jessa was nice. I want to float an idea to you. How about, between the two of us, we take our talents over to the high-end bar and see exactly how interesting knowledge can be to them.
Oh.
Are you going to do that weird story telling thing?
Weird. Not
Do that weird storytelling thing.
Had used before. But I wager that I can weave a tale that makes those people interested in giving up their coin. And you can do the advertisement for Placebo. I forget his name.
Was you?
Placebo.
Right then. I
Alright.
need to change into a look more dashing. Let's see here.
Alright, so what I was going to do, though, like real quick, I'm going to go to be right back, and we can take a break real quick. And
Take a break before we split the party.
yeah, or well, I don't know if you need to split the party, but yes.
I don't think so.
There we go. All right. Oh my goodness gracious. All right. I don't even know if we're ready to be back yet. Hold on. I gotta fix.
Oh, I'm here.
I gotta fix James's camera. It's still doing something funky. Hold on one second. I've got basically James's head. Yeah. Okay, there's that. And that. And there we go. Alright. Now I got a transition to fix it. There we go. There we go. Okay. Rough times, rough times. I was trying to get you guys a map of Milbourne here, real quick. So, un momento, por favor. I have this map already. I thought, but hang on one second. Oops, actually, it's the no good deed thing, right? There we go. Oh wait, is that Thurmaster? No, that's Milbourne. Pretty sure. And I put it on the wrong layer, of course, because why wouldn't I? Because I'm good enough and I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me. Here, you guys can see what I'm doing here. Let me move you to the right map.
Oh yeah, we're seeing the whole thing.
Yeah, only if you're watching. Only if you're watching the stream. There. Oh shoot! There you go. Now you guys can see
Seeing how the sausage is made.
ABW, always be watching.
Somewhere in there. There you go. You get a rough idea. Alright, so yes, so those places and stuff and places and things and stuff. Okay, so the first place that you guys actually came into was like up at the top here. Let me put this on the map layer. So you guys would have come in from there's only like one like gate into the town, kind of. So you guys would have come in up top here. And when you come in that gate, that big place there, I believe it is. No, okay, this is the big mansion here, the big manor house. Or wait, I think it's all twisted around. I gotta look at it again now. Hold on one second. Oh my goodness. I have a...
Ermagerd.
Yeah, right? I have a...
And when we get here, is it like nearing the end of the day?
Yeah, okay, so this is the first tavern here. This is the bigger of the two.
Mutton something?
The I think that's the Baron of Mutton. Yeah, hang on a second. Look at see if I can find the other one. Yeah, I guess that would have to be the Baron of Mutton. Yeah. So this is the town hall down here. This is the Baron of Mutton. This over here, I guess they are kind of almost across the street from each other. is the Silver Crown.
That's the fancy.
Yeah, the fancier one. Yep.
Now, what's this building here?
Which one? That
Is
is
that the mansion?
that is yeah, I believe that's the mansion. It's also called the Squire's house. Is it the mansion that I'm thinking of?
Intrigued.
Un momento, por favor. Yeah, that's the mansion. I believe. So, let's see. So when you go into the town there, and you guys are hanging outside the tavern discussing what your next course of action is. You do notice that it's kind of looks like it's a very busy town, even though there's not many people there. You know, there's in this small little town. There's probably like in and around the town, probably about 160 people live there. You know, like, but you notice that it's very busy. Like, there's a little bit of a fishery, but there's also a lot of miners in and out of the gates.
Like children or like?
No, like
Like,
dwarves. They're
okay.
short like children. No, I'm just kidding. No, like miner, like stone miner, gem miner, whatever. I don't
Okay,
know.
yeah.
Or miner type thing.
other than like my first
Coal
conversation,
miners.
well,
I don't know.
it seems like the people here are really bored. So I'm glad you clarified.
Yeah.
It's just so many kids.
Jeez.
There's a few of those. The river,
No, I just found this very lightly covered.
the river's fairly shallow right there. You know, right where, you know, over by the docks and stuff. The mill house is a thatched stone building with an impressively large water wheel. I don't see where that would be on the thing, but I guess it would be up closer to the edge of the water than probably what it looks like on this map. Oh, this one here, I guess. There's some warehouses. There's a half a bridge that's kind of, you know, it's like it's like out into the water. More-
Half a bridge.
Yeah, like
Isn't
half
that
a
just
bridge.
ramp?
Yeah, it's essentially like more like a dock. You know.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah,
It
and
almost connects.
the local townsfolk refer to it as the Folly. It's stood there for like 50 years. It's made of some beautiful, like superb hardwood. Like Cutler would like recognize this stuff and be like, yeah, this would make a good wood to make a ship out of. You know, like, but you know, you still hear like people talking and gossiping about it from time to time about the idiot who paid for it to be built and only realized halfway through that it was a totally unnecessary bridge. You know, because there's this,
Okay.
because essentially, you know, you guys came in by land, and you know, essentially, there's like a, you know, sort of a natural land bridge that goes across there. So, there's a boathouse. There's like an exchange. The two taverns, like I said. There's a little granary. There's a smithy. There's a temple, and there's a little warehouse that's like a carpenter's warehouse. And
Temple to who?
a general store, and then some stables that also double as a kennel. A temple to Tyr. Actually,
Typical.
it is also a temple to Torm. So okay, so what's everybody going to do here for?
I'm headed to the other bar.
Okay, and you know that this
Don't do the fancy bar.
you know that this is just a town that's on the way to Thurmaster, but it was kind of like your next stop before you go to Thurmaster and you drop off the cart.
No, I want to hear the play before I endorse him. So
Okay.
I also
the
do.
master.
Oh God, you
I
guys.
want to shape change my face to be slightly more rugged and slightly more beautiful.
Okay. Slightly more
It's
rugged.
still getting dark.
Slightly more rugged
Huh?
and slightly more beautiful.
Those like pretty eyes, but like a rugged, scraggly beard.
Okay.
Strong
Just
jaw.
You know, just a great jawline.
Looks like you need to shave.
You know, like just
So you look like a little bit like Jim Caviezel, is that what you're saying,
exactly
or
from Passion of the Christ.
You're
specifically,
right, yeah,
so.
Passion of the Christ. Yeah, that's
But yeah, give me the Passion of the Christ. Give me the crucifixion look.
give me the give me the give me the
Um,
pa- give me the
Tessa
give me
would
the
be-
give me the Christ smolder.
Tessa will be shape changing into a bimbo.
Into a what?
Bimbo?
A bimbo? Is that what you said?
A bimbo.
Oh, okay. Oh God. What the hell are you guys doing to me?
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
Just so
Okay.
you know, I redeemed 1,000 points to ban shape shifting.
I think that. Oh wow. Okay. Is that an option? I didn't realize that was an
Yes,
option.
you have an option in the spending points of ban an action.
Oh, ban in action. Okay.
I ban shape shifting. I spelled it wrong because my keyboard fucked with me, but yeah, I banned shape shifting. Neither of you get to use your shape shifting for this. Let the chaos ensue.
God.
Hold on,
Okay.
Oh my God. That is absolute, hold on. Wait. Hold on.
So okay.
It cost 1,000 points to do that. You gotta spend the points to make it legit. Nice.
I don't think it counts. I don't think it counts if the cast spends the points.
No, it's gotta count because it allows us to have some fun with each other. Come on.
Alright, fine. Then no cursing.
All right. So.
Sorry about that.
All right.
I
So.
like them apples.
Oh God. No. You can't
I
do
mean,
that
you
to
just
me.
wasted your points because Fulladar said Cutler can't swear
I just
specifically.
can't swear.
It was
Oh,
a team
man.
effort.
Does that mean I can't swear too? Because that's gonna be hard.
I guess no cursing me.
All right.
Let's do this. This
I am.
campaign is gonna get
I
so much
am-
more chaotic.
I am
Because we're
so
all just
taking
gonna
those
start hoarding
options away from
No,
you guys.
no, come on, don't. It's gonna be fun. Come on.
Fine,
Okay, so
I
then-
will not change.
So since you can't shapeshift, Tessa, how do you transform into a bimbo?
Well, no.
I mean, she can still use makeup. She can still
Makeup
use
and clothes.
yeah.
Yep. Disguise kit. Yeah.
I just said specifically no shape shifting.
I'm just curious about the description of this bimbo, for science sake.
Yeah, okay.
And for below up, you still have a high elf between you, so I'm totally fine with glowing up Tessa.
Basically, I'm thinking a blonde Jessica Rabbit style person.
Okay. So like a red bodice type bustier type thing with a peasant
Yeah.
blouse looking deal.
The lipstick.
I just like remove the undershirt from my robe and just like open it slightly,
Nice.
just to be like,
Look at my muscle.
and
Cutler
I'll
just-
tie my hair so it's just flowing hair, and I'll just
Cutler, upon seeing you doing this, just decides to one up you and just opens his entire shirt to reveal his abs.
too much reveal, my friend.
Of course, he's a dragonborn, so it's hard to tell where the scales end and the abs start. But
Exactly.
Is it late enough to count the time as night or darkness?
all right, it is about it's getting to be like twilight. Yeah. Well, it was
Yeah, nice.
getting close to be the end of the day when you
Moonlight.
got there, because it took you most of the day
Also,
to
what
travel
is
there.
Screech? Somebody renewed points for Screech.
God, what the? I don't know. Oh, stretch. It's stretch. It's
That's
Oh, okay.
actually I do
yeah,
that.
I needed that.
I do that a lot of times, anyways. Like usually my back pops when I do it. Thank goodness.
Finally, I can get back into Moonlight.
Don't get me started.
I just pull up my shirt and show my abs.
I was.
I'm actually intimidated by. Can we get an intimidation rolls on those abs, please?
Sure.
Foldar's gonna be that intimidated.
Folidar's gonna roll a nat 1 on his
So make
insight
it
and
make
be
it
like,
make it contested, Volodar. Go ahead and have Januka make
It's
the
gonna be
athletics
flexing
check or
along
the yeah athletics intimidation, something like that.
Since I'm Strek flexing as well, could I join in on this?
Sure, why not?
Oh,
Why not?
shoot.
Yeah, but let's make it a team effort. I exposed my soft underbelly.
Now,
Oh wait! I rolled intimidation. You're rolling athletics. Hold on. Let me go back.
Oh, can I roll performance to look good as a Moonlight?
There you go. There's a 3 for your athletics,
There's my athletics.
Deontay.
Color
Actually,
just,
though,
Color just starts going one-handed push-ups. Just, ugh.
I was like, I'm intimidated by those things. Okay, they're killing me here.
Everybody's
We're designed,
Every-
we're designed,
You should roll anyway.
we're designed to be brutes. Of course
Everybody's-
we're intimidating you.
everybody's intimidating Volodar.
I'm gonna use inspiration to re-roll that. Oh, okay. I'm more athletic than I am intimidating currently, apparently. Then again, I mean, I am wearing pink, so.
You look like it's like flexing hard abs. Yours is like obscure by scale. So I'm getting just straight up like,
But you're seeing me doing one-handed push-ups.
right, just in there flexing it. Hey, can I get a kablooey roll just for the lulz?
I laugh. I will laugh if he rolls a natural 20.
And he
No,
gets he's showing he's like a full flex, 6-pack going and everything.
Alright, what am I,
It's like-
intimidating you? Is that what I'm doing here?
Intimidation.
Am I?
Here we go.
Okay, fine.
Just to see, like,
Just
I'm
to
just
see.
so intimidated. by
You
it.
even got intimidated by the wizard.
15.
Jeez.
You got intimidated by the wizard.
Everyone's just flexing, and I'm just sitting there going like, well.
I'm just
time-
gonna
No,
button
no,
my
no.
shirt.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I can picture that. I can picture him doing that. Like, okay, never mind. But,
I was waiting on inside the bar to do that part.
I'm wondering how the town people who are watching us do this are reacting.
Oh yeah, does this count as a performance? Are we performing for these people?
all right, so you guys. Goodness gracious. Okay, who's going to the Silver Crown? Tessa, Tessa, and Volodar.
No, you were going to go see a performance.
Congenuity.
I haven't decided where I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go with the people going to the rich establishment.
That's the Silver Crown.
I'm gonna go with them.
So you're gonna go with Tessa and Volodar? Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go cause some chaos.
Okay, Januka, are you going to the Silver Crown also, or are you going into the Baron of Mutton, or are you going somewhere else?
I'm going to the Baron Mutton because, like I said, if I'm going to work hard, I want to actually see him for free.
Right, you want to see what your travel time paid for, kind of thing. All right. What about you, Oliver? Is Fallon going to the Baron of Mutton also to see the performance?
The night call.
Not Talon, the Moon Knight goes.
Moon Knight. Oh, okay. The Moon Knight. Yes, because it's later at night. Okay.
The night calls into
He
him.
dressed up in white leather with his hood and his white mask and the moon sword on his back.
No.
Nirvana plays in the background. No. It's just-
All right.
I can make my hood waving with preservation, something like that.
Okay. Are you guys? Okay. So that leaves Kablooey. Are you going to go to the rich place or to the poor place or a different place?
Kablooey is going to the poor place. Let's go to the Baron
Alright.
Mutton.
The Baron of Mutton.
Did we split the party 3 and 3?
Okay, so the Baron of Mutton. The Baron of Mutton is.
Where's our NPC going?
Oh,
Oh,
Navari?
yeah.
Nadia.
Navari.
Navari?
Good choice.
Navari.
Well, assuming that you have someone to procure the wagon's safety, then Navari will travel to the Silver Crown.
Or she's gonna.
Oh, jeez.
She doesn't believe in mingling
Poor
with the
people.
common folk, but she
And
makes
how about
exceptions for you guys because
What about our guards?
Competition.
The guards always automatically go with Jess and Tessa. They're bound to
yeah,
her,
they
essentially.
they follow within 15 feet unless she commands them otherwise.
Tessa, you are at a severe disadvantage here.
So I can
Can
command.
you have them guard the cart?
You can have
command them to stay with the cart.
You can command them to stay with the cart, yeah. What you would probably want to do though is take the cart with you over to the Silver Crown, command them to stay with the cart there.
Yeah.
Because, well, I can't. Okay, metagame outside of game, they feel a sense of yearning for you that they can't they can't explain because they can't speak, but they can't ignore. They can't ignore. So if you're too far from them, they will make every effort to get to you, including taking out anyone they perceive as a threat that's preventing you from preventing them from getting to you. Okay, so
It's a simple army.
all right, the ad break ends in 50 seconds. Okay, so the Baron of Mutton. Once you go into the Baron of Mutton, for those who are going in there, the tavern is frequented most by the townspeople, and it is an accommodation for about 30 guests at any time. The guests here kind of can have a choice of living well or roughing it. Roughing it means sleeping in a 12 bed common room, and possibly shared with barge workers and miners and other workers who come in with their merchant masters to Millbourne. And they're not averse to the odd spot of pilfering or a good knuckle fight after too many pints of ale. The beds are hard, the bunks are covered with only an old blanket. For those wishing to wash, there's a horse trough outside. A bunk is about 3 silver pieces per night. The sum includes a skimpy breakfast of day-old bread and stale beer. That's strictly for the That's strictly for the skinflints. Staying in one of the 5 there's also 5 two-bedroom or 2-person rooms that cost about 5 silver pieces per night. The guests get a slightly better breakfast and more comfortable bed with actual sheets. All in all, it's best to cough up 9 silver pieces per night to have one's own room, given that the bedding is clean, the windows and doors locked secure, and the breakfast repast of sweet cured bacon in one of Perella's fresh small loaves is an excellent start to any adventurer's day. For a little extra, 1 to 2 silver pieces, depending on how politely they ask, you can even get a decent bath of hot water. The tavern owner is a guy named Durcaster. He's a venerable legend in his own time. Kind of half blind, almost completely deaf. He looks like he's about a human of around 90 years old. He's very much a crotchety old man, and he kind of, you can see him when you see him there, he kind of seems to be playing up the idea that he's a crotchety old man.
By playing up, you mean just
like
loudly complaining?
Yeah, loudly complaining, taking advantage of, people, like, go, like, he kind of, orders his, his bar crew or his inn crew around and his tavern crew around and kind of, like, will sit back and whatever. But you notice, like, as the night travels on, he he seems to engulf a truly terrifying amount of food and ale. Um, there are two younger boys, well, younger men, younger gentlemen, that kind of take care of most of the goings on around the tavern and the inn, and they seem to be related to him in some way, shape, or form. You would have to guess they're probably his grandsons. Um, uh, let's see. This is also uh, a good place to learn about gossip and stuff too. Um, as the as the night wears on, the crowd gets settled in, and suddenly they kind of quiet down as a young man in the green tunic takes the stage, and he pauses a moment and plucks a little bit on his lute, and it becomes hang on one second. It becomes a little quieter in there, and yeah, where's that? I was looking for a different music thing, background music. Anyways, okay, so yeah, it gets a little quieter, and he he does kind of a like a me 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 me, like that kind of thing. And everybody quiets down a little bit, and he says, "Sakatha was once the great lizard king, said to have power stored in a ring. O'er swamplands and plains, lands his dominions they spread. His very name filled all creatures with dread. To build his great tomb in the midst of the marsh, many men died in slavery most harsh. His minions took all of our best for his altar, not a day for his bloody thirst falter. Then there arose the great Count of Yor, the greatest of heroes in those days of yore. He slew Sakatha in the battle of Wakeholm. The lizard men carried their slaughtered chief home. And now he awaits in the cold sleep of death, his day of awakening his newborn breath. Though deep in the ground his followers closed him, he'll come back for vengeance on those who opposed him." And everybody kind of just sits around a little bit and like kind of like looks, and there's a little bit of clapping.
There's a little ominous.
And
I
go ahead.
I want to use thaumaturgy to create an instant sound effect to make more clapping people.
Okay.
More clapping sound.
All right, yeah. He says, and you see him kind of bow. He's like, "Oh, thank you," and he's like, and he sees like there's some kind of, like you said, it was kind of ominous, and you see some of the crowd kind of is like looking like, and he's like, "Come on, people, it's just a song, like it's something to be. It's like you tell your kids, folk tales, it's not real." He kind of, and then like more of them clap a little bit, and he's like bows and whatever, and they throw some coins on the stage.
Did he just actively criticize the crowd for not understanding his music?
Yeah,
Something like that.
That was
Yeah.
a pretty, like, you can have it as part of your set, but that was rough for an opener.
He's like,
Oh,
yeah, yes.
Totally did apologize.
He's like, yes, that's true. He says, perhaps I should sing a different song for an opener. He says, this is true. He says, and he goes and he starts singing a couple well-known shanties and stuff like that, and yeah. So I was looking for that.
Just like, okay, now I gotta temper them with good music. He got experimental.
Wow.
Totally did a follow there, yes.
Cocky prick.
He got like real experimental at the beginning, and they were just like,
Yeah, we don't like you.
Sure, congrats. His was like, all right, well, they don't get it. They don't understand my music.
The talent's there. It's just execution.
Perhaps too.
I'm not even sure.
I was about to say, good thing the most critical people are not there.
Right? I'm not even sure if the talent's there at this point. That sounded pretty bad to me.
Because we would have just been constantly integrating. Like, what was that?
Yeah, we would have been picking
Well,
on him hard.
yeah. I was gonna say you guys weren't there, so you know, like.
Yeah, being that I'm there to critique him, and I go up and go, you're not planning on starting with that over at the other place, are you?
He says, no. He says, but it's a classic. He says,
Yeah, but that's something you end with, not begin with.
he's like, yes, true. I see both your points.
I'm glad he could take that criticism well.
I don't think he is. I think he's hiding his pain. He's got like the fake mask on and smiling. Yeah, that's a good point. Inside, he's like,
I can summon him an unseen servant to give him a hug.
I don't know if that will work. He might be freaked out by something just randomly wrapping their arms around him.
So if you guys,
It's a servant that can perform simple tasks. Cleaning, mending, folding clothes, giving a hug. Probably a simple task.
okay, so he goes back to, he just goes to playing like some melodies and stuff, and starts singing like some familiar shanties and stuff. Is anybody going to do anything while you're at the people that are at the Baron of Mutton?
I'm just trying to beef up his performance with some minor illusion, charmatory, predestination, druidcraft.
Okay.
Pick your poison.
All right. Okay, so for those of you who went to the Silver Crown,
Here we go.
this tavern is the closest thing Milbourne has to a hangout for riffraff, which color is going to be in good
The Prince of Riffraff.
The
good
king,
standing
more
there.
like.
Yeah. You get in there. It is definitely not a nicer tavern than the Baron of Mutton. It
I made the right choice.
it is a spit and sawdust tavern. The prices are about 80% of what they would be at the Baron of Mutton. They're actually, round fractions down. That kind. Like it's just it's frequented by miners and most people like that are there drinking themselves senseless kind of thing. There's a burly dude that is behind the bar, and a younger guy that looks similar to the burly dude that's a little bit thinner, but kind of running the show, and running from table to table.
Who is the owner of this fine establishment? Yeah, fine might be a bit of a stretch.
Uh,
Ah, I know. Who's the owner of this wretched establishment?
uh,
They did not have Sumi in the name.
he says, who you calling, or he says, what you calling wretched, like that, and the big
Just
the
a
big
joke,
burly
old friend.
the big burly guy says, Come on in. We'll get you some drinks lined up. And Navari
Before we get to the
Navari
drinks,
looks like she doesn't even want to step on the floor. You know, like she
look
looks a
over to
little bit
Navari and tell
almost scared to move into the thing. You know.
I look over to Navari and tell her, you can go to the other tavern. Nothing's keeping you here. You're the one who chose to follow us.
Quite disappointing, admittedly, but a bet's a bet, I suppose.
What was the bet exactly?
She's-
It's between me and Folder who can get the most money.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have a question. How many of you would like to throw rotten tomatoes at a bard?
Well, I suppose that's one way of advertising his arrival.
How would you like to what? Throw what at a
Throw
bar?
rotten tomatoes
Okay.
at the bard.
They all kind of cheer.
All right, who's the owner of this establishment to set this deal up?
He's like, the big burly guy looks at you again and says, "I'm not supplying tomatoes."
Ah, no need to worry about that.
Why do you
You have create food and water on your list, yes, Druid?
who's
No, we'll
the
never
druid?
had that with us.
I know. I'm asking out of character right now, because this is part of Cutler's plan.
I don't
So
think
need to
I don't think
know-
we have a druid, do we?
Does anybody have create food or destroy or water at all?
You're
I mean, I do, but it's not prepared.
Urgh. Damn.
And I think, oh yeah, Kaw's at the other end too, isn't he?
Hmm.
Yeah, but I can make the
Yeah,
trick.
you don't know that he sucks yet. You think he's good.
No, I'm just assuming he sucks. I'm assuming he sucks. I don't like the dude.
Anyways, while this is going on, what Tesla is doing, he's going to be flirting with all the drunk dudes, getting them even drunker. And
Is there a farm around here anywhere?
There is actually.
A what? A farm?
A farm.
Yeah, they're all over.
All right. You mind
There's
writing
one
me a
actually.
note-
There's one small like stables and stuff like in town there. Like
You mind
It's like a
writing me a
walled
note?
city.
Do you mind writing me a note stating that you need some tomatoes? What I will do is we could charge these fine patrons half of the price of the tomatoes. I can take a royalty cut from the bard for the contract and pay the tomatoes. Essentially, you'll get the tomatoes free.
but you're asking the innkeeper guy?
Yeah.
He says, writing's not my strong suit.
Could you send someone with a message to come with me?
Of course it isn't. It's
He says, I suppose. He says, Gurgle, go with him and go get some tomatoes.
All right, I will head off to the farm with Gurgle.
As I see Tessa just smoothing it up, I'm hit with the realization that I am definitely not going to be the hot commodity. And I just look over to Navari and I just go, Miss Stormcaller, I feel that I'm frankly completely out of my league here. That's a first.
Can
She
you
says-
imagine if Cutler inevitably? Can you imagine if Cutler wins the bet without even being a part of it because of this tomato deal?
Right.
She says,
Navari, you're one of buxom means. What would you suggest I do in this instance?
I don't think she's gonna take well
She-
to that.
she says, I don't think that there is much for this place. And she like keeps looking around like, what did she just get
Paranoid.
into? You know, like what in the world is going on here?
Insight. How many people are focusing on Navari?
Oh, our boy Foladar's about to get jealous as a motherfucker.
There's probably at least 10 guys, ogling her pretty heavily.
Are we about to see Foladar try to take on 10 guys in the bar fight?
She's also like looks like she's about ready to climb out of her skin, that kind of thing.
She does not want to be here.
She does not like this place.
I say, Miss Stormcaller, your discomfort does not be lost on me. But if I may indulge a favor from you for a moment.
She says, Might it be a simple one?
Ah, yes, it only requires that you stand exactly where you are at the moment.
No.
You,
Fulidar
you
about
can
to pull
you,
some
you can
shit.
see her you can see her kind of bristle a little, and she says, "That won't be a problem." And you see you see little motes of sawdust swirling around at her feet, like eddying, just in like swirls of like little tiny dust devils, and you can see her hands are kind of cupped toward the floor like this, like, and but she's holding very still other than that.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, this is the only chance I have at winning this little situation. Folidar is going to walk away from her, and what I'm going to do is I'm looking for the table with guys like trying to sneakily look at her, and I want to approach that table.
Okay.
Just a heads up.
Like the table with the most guys looking at her. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Heads up. Not pimping.
Okay, you've
Not pimping.
you have to clarify that.
Just let's clear that up now.
You have to clarify that beforehand. All right, so
I mean, Fulidar even dresses like a pimp.
Is that the line you're drawing? Is that a step too far?
Right. Murder and coercion, bribery, all great. Pimping, prostitution, a scholar would never.
Are you saying that in character in this establishment?
No, of course not.
In your head, you think it.
So I just kind of approached that table and I'm like, "Good evening, boys. Tired after a long day of work, I take it."
they're like, "Aye."
Tell me, what is it that you all mind?
What do we mine?
Yeah, she looked.
Mostly iron.
So even more rigorous than most people would imagine. I bet you're all so tired of not getting your due.
Of course. Says that's why we come here, and then they kind of slash their mugs together, and crash their mugs together, and drink up a little bit, and
Yes, yes, verily. Let me tell you something. Any of you married men?
they're like, married? Why? And the one guy in the back, the one guy in the back of the, like, kind of toward the back of one of the tables, he's like, I'm married.
Well, look at this guy here. He's got it all right now, doesn't he? Truly, a marriage is a foundation of happiness, and he is supplied as much. But all of you are sitting here wasting away in your wallowing away in your pity. Aren't you ready for something different?
Do they even understand the word wallowing?
They look.
I'm hoping they're drunk.
They look at you and they're like, what are you talking about?
Okay, no, we were right.
That woman over there, beautiful as she is only one of many women in a beautiful setting. And you know what's great about those women? They have different preferences, my friend. Sure, you could be buck tooth.
Preferences?
You could be missing an eye. You could be scarred.
Arr!
Arm, hairy men. But you're still beholden by the eyes of women like that. Isn't that a beautiful world?
Yeah, they're like, it's a beautiful woman.
I'd be happy to tell you all you need to know. The tips to getting women like that to look at you.
Oh my god, Fulidar becoming a... Okay. Okay, I see where you're going with this, dude.
And it would only cost you a few spare coin, not 2 silver each.
Fulidar becoming one of those guys.
Okay, they're like, all right, one of the guys is like, all right, I gotta hear this. This is gonna be the best thing I've heard all day, and he hands you 2 silver.
Be careful not to upset him and make him disappointed. You might start a brawl fight.
And you notice that he seems to be buck-toothed and peg-legged, scarred, and only has one eye. And
Hold on, thinking internally. Shit.
I can't shapeshift. Oh, this makes this so.
Yup,
exactly.
exactly.
Oh my god. Okay, wait. I can leverage this in a beautiful way, maybe.
Oh, this is gonna be fucking great.
So I just go like anyone else. I'm telling you now that once I leave this town, you won't be able to get this advice anywhere.
You're gonna come back as another form later on, aren't you?
Yes.
I saw it coming. They're gonna be like, wait, we were told we can't get this device anywhere else. How did you find out?
I'm the one who taught him, and then back. So does anyone else give in, or I'm just gonna be stuck with the 2 silver?
It's more than you would have made otherwise.
Yeah, true.
Let me see here. There's let me do this here.
I'm gonna be persuasive.
Oh wow, okay. So hang on. So you get there's 5 of them that are gonna join in, and so that's another 10 silver.
12 silver total, right? 12 silver total.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
That is
12
correct.
silver total. Great. Great. Okay, boys, let me ask you a question. That woman there, to approach her, what would you say to her?
You're about to come one of those stereotypical guys, aren't you? Even Jessa and Tessa is laughing at this in camera.
I can't swear. You said I can't swear.
Exactly. Dude, you cannot remove any of these things to spend. These make the game so much more fun.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You said. Okay. So.
Oh crap.
All right. He says.
There we go.
Okay. The scarred old guy says. You're looking mighty hot in them clothes. Maybe you should take them off.
Okay.
Look at
okay.
Stephanie. She's cracking up.
You- There's lots of words for that. My friend, have you ever purchased from a merchant before?
A merchant? He says, what do I
Me and
need?
you can't contain our laughter
He
here.
says, what do I need with a merchant? I got fish out of the river.
This is gonna be much harder than I thought. Okay. So let us start with the basics. That woman there. That
You
woman
can't
there,
even contain yourself.
she came into this facility clothed. Therefore, she does not want to be unclothed in this facility, in the simplest of terms. Your goal is not to get her to unclothe here, but rather to get her to go somewhere where she's more likely to unclothe.
He says, you make a fair point, lad.
Now, keeping that in mind, what should be the first thing you offer to her when you greet her?
Oh, I know. You say, that's a nice dress. It will look good on my bedroom floor.
You're getting closer. I
I'll play one of the dwarves.
enthusiasm.
These are dwarves, or what are they?
There's a couple dwarves, but they're mostly humans.
Could one of them be an elf who's just stupid?
Just like a dumb, very slender, minor elf.
The guy that's the old guy that you're talking to with the scar and the peg leg is a dwarf.
Okay. Well, could one of them be an elf, by any chance?
You don't see any elves in here, but one of them possibly is a half elf.
Okay, I'm gonna play the part of the half elf if that's okay.
Oh,
Oh, you're gonna. Oh, okay. I guess maybe.
The half elf, not necessarily being the smartest, but also not being the dumbest when it comes to ladies. I think you should say something along the lines of, "My fine madam, would you like to go somewhere you're more comfortable?"
Ew. Oh, sir. You have to maintain a sense of subtlety. If you ask her to go somewhere else, then why would she have come here in the first place? No. Your goal should not be to immediately escort her from this place, but to convince her that there's a better place to go. So, before you tackle that woman there,
Okay.
You're gonna point to Jessa and Tessa.
I'm sure there's a woman who will be much more refined or much more palatable to these suggestions.
Okay. You see the dwarf stand up. He says, "I gotcha." He says, "All right, I'll try it out." And he runs up to Navari.
No.
He runs up to Navari and says, "What the heck are you doing here? Get out of here!"
The elf walks up to her. "I will carry you, madam," and tries to pick her up and take her out by force.
Fellas, watch carefully as your friends fail to grasp even the simplest amount of feminine essence.
Do I need to? Are you gonna make a roll for the elf to
Are
be able
you-
to pick Navari up?
If you want to, you can try.
I look at Navari because she's definitely gonna ask if it's fine if she just stops that process. I'm just gonna look at her like,
Yeah, as soon as the dwarf runs over, says this stuff. As soon as the elf gets near her, she holds her hand up, and the elf cannot seem to walk forward any closer to her with the rushing wind that is just blowing him back. He's like, like there's like tornado force winds pushing him back.
How does the bartender react to magic being used in the bar?
He doesn't seem to be having much of a reaction.
He's like, "Yeah, whatever, not my problem."
It's not a problem at all. Now,
It's
fellas,
above
I
his
think
pay
you
grade. I
want
don't.
to- I think you might want to avoid that. With women
The
who
elf,
are,
the elf sulkily walks back to the table and just pours his beer on one of the other guys. Matter of fact, he pours it on Folidar, and then continues out the bar completely. He's like, "You failed," and just leaves you.
didn't even take lesson one. Just head dive first into the material.
He's just like, "That didn't work." Pours his beer on top of your head and leaves the bar disappointed.
Well, he's not getting it.
He's not getting a refund. Okay, so what's Volodar saying now after the
After being covered in beer.
Right. So I'm just like, okay, fellas. So what went wrong there?
What didn't
the dwarf
Poor Jessa/Tessa is just like, "What the fuck is
the
going on
the
right
dwarf
now?"
the dwarf says the dwarf turns towards you and says, you didn't tell me to tell her where she should be. That's better than here.
Exactly correct. And a lady like that would definitely like to be somewhere that is better than here right now. Also, if I may, don't waste good beer, okay?
good beer?
You actually would notice that the beer that was dumped on you was piss warm.
You also hear the dwarf as he's walking back to his seat say under his breath, he says, "We don't waste good beer. That's why we're drinking here."
So you definitely had bad beer poured on you.
So now I'm just gonna be like, observe men, and then once you've observed, try your hardest to find any other woman in this bar, specifically one that looks a little of the bimboish variety, and approach her with such charisma as I do this woman.
They're pretty dumb. Would they even understand the word bimbo-ish?
I hope they just translate it in their head to someone that looks easygoing.
They look around and they like two of them zero in on Tessa right away. They're like, "Oh, there is another woman here." Like,
Tessa doesn't even know the plan. This is about to get so fucking awkward.
I'm gonna go over to Navari and I'm just gonna be like, Miss Stormcaller, my dear, would you like to leave this place?
She says, "I don't know." She says, I feel a little bit frozen in my tracks right now, and I'm morbidly curious to see the outcome of whatever shenanigans that you are doing right now that are driving me crazy with anticipation.
Oh no, she's not gonna leave with you either.
I just like lightly whisper in her ear, like, trust me, this is going to be a very interesting couple of minutes. That you'd be doing me a light favor, and then I just kind of like hand her the 12 silver.
Okay.
And just be like, and you'd be doing Tessa a light inconvenience.
And she says, so am I leaving or am I staying?
We're leaving, but we're going to return to see the results of Tessa's endeavors.
Okay. And she says, very well. And she turns and kind of starts to walk out.
I look back at the table and I'm just like, and then I just leave. We're just gonna leave for a little bit so that I can sell the illusion of having done anything and then come back. So
I can't wait to see Cutler do his stuff with the farm and get this tomato going. I'm gonna talk to the bard and just be like, I got you a gig. However, it's not performing. It's getting tomatoes and rotten fruit thrown at you.
Okay.
that's Folodar. Folodar is actually for like the next 20 minutes, just to see how Tessa deals with that.
He says, when you go to tell when you go to tell Pluck that he says, that was just like my last gig. Okay, I'll take it.
All right. Cool. Go over there. I've got the guy going to the farm to get the fruit and vegetables right now. I pat him on the back. Congratulations, you have a second job right across the street.
All right.
So, Trevor, what is that place across the street like anyway?
You being nobility would not like it. It is my kind of place. Cutler just says it like that too. My kind of place.
Well, if the bar fight breaks out, be sure to come and get me. I always had like a little fun.
I'll tell you what, if a bar fight breaks out, pay attention for the red flames in the sky. And he smiles and walks back in.
Okay, so you head out with Navari and Tessa. You're in there. You see everybody else that was even looking at Navari now only has you to ogle at because there's not.
You're the only woman.
You're the only woman in there worth looking at, and you're not sure that the other women in there are. Well, they're very. They're very much indistinguishable from the other miners. The only other woman that you know that you see looks somewhat attractive is another dwarf, and she's got a very thick beard.
Good for her.
And she looks like she can hold her own in this kind of place.
Oh no.
Most likely. So yeah, I'm snoozing all the guys, getting extra drunk and pickpocketing as many people as I can get to.
All right, go ahead and give me a couple good pickpocket rolls.
While she rolls that, I'm gonna. Oh wait.
What's that?
Sleight of hand, correct?
Yeah, sleight of hand. Yep.
God
Nice.
dang it.
I don't think she'll ever fail.
She won't. She has 11.
Yeah. Oh, plus one.
Oh, hang on one
I
second.
would walk up to Pluck real quick while you're doing what you're doing. I would walk up to Pluck and be like, "Oh, by the way, I am now officially your manager. Tell me no when I burn you to a crisp. You owe me 10% of all your funds."
Roll me a D100.
Me?
Actually, Tessa. No, Tessa.
I need it to be less than 12.
Actually, give
Can I
me.
roll?
There's what did I say? How many guys were in there? Did I say were in there? I think there's like 30 dudes in there. Hang on one second. With a 20 with a 21 sleight of hand, I figure you kind of bypass anybody's wherewithal in this place, pretty much, except for maybe the barkeep. and then even then, you know,
Oh, I thought that was a 0 on a
You
D100.
accidentally fudged.
I was about to be like, wow, she stole nothing.
is that a nat 100 or is that just
No,
a
it's
zero?
a fudge. She accidentally fudged. She
What
accidentally hit.
EF?
Oh,
You fudged the dice. You accidentally hit the fudge. That's why.
gotcha.
There you go. 52.
Okay, hold on one second. I gotta look at something real quick.
I get a 0 on this one.
Could I roll intimidation on Pluck to be his manager?
Yeah, when it, not at the moment, but maybe.
I was gonna say, is this happening at the same time as his performance?
Well, his performance is almost done now, but yes. Hang on one second.
So
She
the rest of
she
the
is
people-
Tess is in a different inn, so it's not happening at the same time as his performance at the same inn.
I'm by myself now. Which is
Yeah, she's by herself in the Silver Crown. One second.
Did my 5 incels do nothing?
Okay, here, let me
Did
do
they like
this.
disrupt her? They did not disrupt her business at all.
If anything, you made it worse because she just took the money without needing to trick them. She just went drunk and now mine.
you really get a kit for yes.
I really should have re-emphasized that they wouldn't have to spend a dime.
Okay. So the first roll is a 52. Okay. Are you when you're being sleight of hand? Are you going to? I mean, essentially, you're being very secretive about what you're doing. You know, you're doing sleight of hand stuff. So when you get something, are you going to look at it, or are you just going to put it away and keep going, kind of thing?
Put it away and keep going.
Okay. All right. So give me another D100 roll.
Quantity over quality, I see.
Okay, 52, 48.
Those two add up exactly to 100. That's wild.
All right, give me. You're gonna give me 4 more rolls.
100?
Yeah, D100s. Yep. 3.
48,
Ah,
3,
What was that 3 when I needed it?
and 53.
53 and 72. Is that there's one more, right? 1, 2,
You said
3.
4, right?
Yeah, 4 more. I said
Ah,
from whatever she gave. So 1, 2.
72.
So yeah, so 72. So I need one more roll.
one more? Okay.
Yep. 34.
34.
Okay. All right. You seem to get out of there, and as you finish up, you pickpocket pretty much everybody you think had anything worth grabbing. You also among that, hold on, let me put that on there. Among that, you also get 20 silver in total.
Nice.
I can still come back on this.
No, you're not.
Okay, and
We'll see. Hold on.
what are you going to do after you get done pickpocketing pretty much everybody you think you've got? You know, as you're finishing it up, Cutler is like heading back in with the young boy, well, the young man, and as you're finishing up, what are you going to do? Like, are you going to just leave, or are you going to hang around, or what? You're pretty sure that you've gotten anything worth of value out of these guys' pockets. Is pretty much it. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna head out.
Okay. So when you head out, are you going to look at what you found?
Yes.
Okay. So the first guy you pickpocketed had a scroll case.
Ooh.
A small scroll case, and in the small scroll case, you open it up to find a detailed drawing of a member of the party.
Ooh.
Or
In this
But
case,
who?
it was, I believe it was going to be, I believe it was color.
Yeah. What about me?
Someone had
She found a
drawing
in the scroll case was a detailed drawing of Cutler.
You have a secret admirer.
No, it could be also a wanted poster.
Let's
Same,
see.
same difference.
Well, that's unnerving.
You
Well, I mean, that's the life of a pirate.
you also found a magnifying glass lens.
Worthless.
You also found
yeah.
you also actually make a
This is still in the first guy's pockets?
no this,
Oh, just
no
overall.
Oh.
no the first guy's pocket was only the scroll case with the thing. In the third guy's pocket you found make a dexterity check as you're searching through your stuff that you found.
Regular dexterity?
Yeah, dexterity save.
Oh, no. I mean, you got good decks, I think.
Is she about to get blood back?
Okay,
Oh!
you make it and manage to easily avoid the set mouse trap that was in somebody's pocket.
If you hadn't did that deck say they would have caught you.
It wouldn't have done much damage, but it still would have hurt. You know, like
Gave you away.
It's
It
more of
would've
a-
gave you away.
more of a pride type of thing. Anyway, okay. You also find a child's toy. You found a child's toy horse.
Aw.
Oh, taking candy
you
from a
robbed
baby.
parents. Jeez. Give that to his kid.
You also found something that is a little unnerving, but maybe up Tessa's alley. I don't know. A complete, fully intact, fully cleaned rat skeleton.
Wow.
Woo!
Like, what kind of creepy person keeps a rat skeleton in their
This
pocket?
is the worst bar.
Right?
Oh, I was gonna pay my tab, but somebody took my rat skeleton.
Okay. A blood. You also find, and the last person had a blood-soaked rag.
Ew.
So, and as
From
you
the rat
as you're
skeleton.
looking through your stuff, maybe, as you're looking through the stuff that you found, and the 20 silver worth of coin that you found, you get a tap on the shoulder. As you turn, you see an old guy with a peg leg and scars and a missing eye, and
Is that the dwarf?
yeah, it is. And he says, hey, pretty girl, how'd you like to go someplace
I
adventurous?
imagine Fullador walks in to hear this, to see his progress.
They're outside now, so.
Oh, that's perfect. Because we're out there.
He says, how'd you like to go someplace adventurous?
Could you make it worth my while?
He says, of course I could, and he pulls out a little piece of paper, like a piece of parchment, and he unfolds it. And he says, look at this, and when you look at it, you see it's a map.
Did my
What is this map for?
He says, this map. He says, wait, you don't know what this is?
Navari and I are hiding behind the building, by the way. We just
He says,
Do I know what it is?
he said, what'd you say?
Do I know what it is?
It doesn't seem familiar to you. I
Okay,
mean,
so I'm like, no. What is it?
he says, well, it's the Garlstone mine.
Garlstone as in glitter Garlstone?
I'm not at liberty to ask that or answer that because you're not here.
I'm asking out of character.
You offering take me to the mine?
What's that?
Like, what are you offering?
He says, I'm offering you the map, lady. He says it's me most prized possession.
Are you sure about that?
He's really gonna try to get this man.
He says, well, I was hoping maybe for some company or something.
I see Tessa and Jessa just visibly going.
So, is this mine, like, abandoned, like...
He says, yes, I used to work there back in the day. He says,
no.
oh no, I don't want to take you to the mine. He says, well, I mean, I could take you to the mine if that's your thing. And he kind of like looks at you a little bit weird, like maybe you're a little bit strange. And he says,
I'm doomed, this man.
he says, but no, I thought a trade for the map for some some
Fun time.
friendship.
What did this mine...
He says, he says it used to be a gold mine back in the day.
I too little for this advice.
Hold on 1 second. He hands you. Oops. Okay, hold on 1 second. I'm doing something with the image here. It's a little bit. Like.
What Tessa does with this man is not my responsibility.
Murders him.
Okay, all I needed was for him to believe in himself.
Gives him a promise of fun time, gets him alone, and goes die.
I mean, from everyone else's point of view, he succeeded off of my advice.
Yeah, so you might have actually returning customers.
Well, he figured that the first try he did was a little bit wrong, but.
Knowledge.
Don't become that Lambo man. Do not.
Knowledge. I mean, I do have a bookcase.
Okay, so. Hang on 1 second here.
Woo! Culture. Excuse me.
He says, trust me. This map is going to be very useful for you when the time comes.
What is that?
He says, well, rumor has it you're here in town looking for something.
Okay, the fact that... Okay, hold up. The fact that one of these guys had a picture of Colton, and that they know we're in town looking for something, I'm getting concerned.
He says, but don't you worry your pretty little head none, missy. I not told anybody anything about anything, ever, because it's none of their darned business.
That's... Yeah, I think Dessa and Jessa need to kill this motherfucker.
Oh, you swore.
Yeah, even
Quarter in the dime jar, swear jar. I don't know. You need to donate points or so. I don't know. What do we do? So what do we do if somebody violates the rules?
Here, I'll spend some points.
Next roll is at disadvantage.
Okay.
I will spend some points.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Are you going to share this map with everybody, or do you want to just see it for yourself only? For now.
Oh, for now, it's just me and this dude, right? And
Right. Nobody. No, I mean, I'm just saying. Should I? Well, I guess people could see it on the stream anyways if they were looking. But.
Yeah. I will share it with everyone.
Okay, you're going to at some point. Okay, all right. So then that is the map that you got.
So what are you gonna do in the now? Is the question. This guy is still in the equation right now, and he just revealed something very interesting.
Very hard, yeah.
Nonetheless, I'm still watching, even with the confusion. I'm just like.
So, what have you heard about it?
He says, well, I heard you're on your way to Thurmaster, and I heard you're bringing some mighty cargo. He says, but I hear that there's somebody out to gunning you, and it's about the mind flayers, isn't it?
He knows too much. He knows
Navari,
too much.
I feel that our game might actually end up coming to an end.
He says,
He knows too much.
there's a priesty, one of them religious types. He's in the next town in Thurmaster there. He talks a lot. And that's all I'm willing to say, Missy.
You can get more information completely.
What'd you say?
Can't spare more for me?
He says, well, you've already paid me more heed than most women have in a month, so I suppose, his name is Ranchifus.
Have we heard that name before?
Have you heard that name before? Yes,
Yes,
you definitely
we heard
have.
it before.
Oh yeah.
He's up to something, and he's out to slow you lot down.
He
says, and I would recommend- What's that?
Just all over town, or just you and your friend?
What was the question?
Is this rumor
Oh, he says,
all over town?
oh no. Oh no, there's a few people that know, but only those that pay attention. He says, old Grizzler's no fool. He says, you see, I wouldn't stay in Thurmaster if I were you.
Well, thank you. I think we should go. Have a little fun.
At this point, Foldar like steps up just enough so Tessa can see him, and just goes like,
End him.
Like, are you saying like you gotta kill him kind of thing?
just like we need to execute this man. Like we need to take him out the equation.
Oh yeah, I was totally going to kill
Oh yeah,
him.
100%.
Someone needs to spend some points
and
and someone needs to spend points. No deaths.
You can't take shift and
I don't have enough.
Be like,
I don't have enough points to stop this one.
yeah.
No, it's
I
fine. It's fine.
purposely spent enough points due to cursing. I spent points on stretch and hydrate. That was my punishment for failing.
Speaking of hydrate, I dropped my water a second ago.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me. See,
When Tessa
there's a.
walks away with him, I do go back in the bar though.
Okay, so
Can we do the role playing with me and Pluck now?
1 second.
So, can I get him alone and kill him, or is he going to be tough?
You won't know that till you do that. But all right, let me jump over to James, I guess, because he's been waiting for the pluck pelting, as it were.
I just look at
The
Pluck.
pelting of the pluck.
I just look at Pluck, talk to him, and as I'm talking, you could see my fire breath kind of like swirling around in my mouth as I speak, and my eyes glow a darkish red. I'm your manager now. You owe me 10% of any money you make. I won't always be here to collect it, so I expect you to save it up until I come to collect.
He says, "What?
If you do not have my money, I will not only break your fucking legs, I will burn you into a third degree
you swore again.
burns over your entire body." I'm aware. I'm spending more points.
25 points in the swear jar." I need to make that as an option. Swear jar.
350.
Make a swear jar. That'd be great.
Only for when no swearing is implemented.
You gotta gift a sub.
I can't do that.
The stretch. Oh, hydrate. Let me do the hydrate though. I do need a stretch and hydrate. But... All right. Make an intimidation roll.
Could I have advantage due to how brutal I described it?
You can have advantage due to the fact that you're, 7 foot and scary. To pluck, especially.
Natural 20.
Okay, well, let's see. Yeah, he wets himself.
So do we have an understanding?
He says, I'm not good at saving.
Well, then you better find someone to take care of your finances for you.
He says, understood.
I just pat his head condescendingly. Good boy.
And he heads into the bar ready to receive his pelting of rotten tomatoes.
I'm watching this. I'm watching right behind him. Almost as like a pimp and just watching
He plays something akin to dueling banjos, but the crowd is with it for a minute, and they kind of like it, but they're all in on the Rotten Tomatoes thing, so they all just they all listen to him, wait for him to finish, and he just gets lambasted with Rotten Tomatoes.
I made sure to list more than tomatoes. I listed peaches, plums, pineapples, pears, all different kind of fruit and vegetables.
We walk back into the bar as he
Pineapples. You want to kill Pluck?
No, like pineapple slices.
Oh, okay.
Like rotten pineapple slices.
Anyway.
So he gets the rotten fruit salad.
The rotten fruit salad.
Exactly.
Fruit salad.
Coconut.
Yummy, yummy. All right.
He's getting a standing ovation.
And then it all of a sudden changes.
You see Navari smile, and you kind of see the canines gleam a little, and she says, yes, likely the only one he'll get this century.
Barely.
And now to watch the carnage.
I was like, if you excuse me, I have some fees to collect on. Fellas! I've returned.
How much was my profit from the vegetable/fruit selling? Because I specifically worded it as I wanted to make it so that I would get it at half cost, and I would sell it at full price to make some profit on that.
Yeah, so probably about. I mean, you're also buying and selling rotten tomatoes, so you.
Yeah, it's not much, but it's a little bit of income.
So you probably get about 2 gold.
And then how much do I get for my cut of pluck?
I don't think he got paid that much. Did you even
from the
yes,
other?
I did. Yeah.
From the other, right?
Did you get a sure payment for pluck?
I intimidated him. No matter what money he gets, he owes me a cut. 10%.
No, I'm talking about for the bar. Like, because as far as it seems, he just walked into the bar and then got pelted, basically.
I walk up to the barkeep. Now, I have established it so that the farm will sell these at half price. So you could sell them at the full price.
What did you say the cut was for?
10%.
10%. Okay, that's what I thought. So another 2 gold from pluck.
Woo!
All right. Navari goes over to Jinyuka and says, "This rabble you travel with, they are
weird.
They eliminate my need for speech. I guess I don't know what's going on here, but they've just received 5,000 gold and they're shaking the town down for a few pennies." For a few pence, what? I
have not been with them long myself. I'm just here to make sure they fulfill their obligation.
Thank goodness someone is, I suppose.
You know what's worse about this is that from Navari's point of view, we were merchants.
She looks at Jinyuka, looks a little bit more pleased, and looks down at Kablooey and says, "Well, at least you're all very enterprising."
Say that.
That's a word for it.
Humble.
Uh,
As I'm at a table of guys regaling.
I don't know what just happened. My camera just went off.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Succeeded.
shit.
And
Yep.
I'm just like, who else wants to hear my wondrous advice of accosting women?
But
Okay, so
So
Tessa, are you wanting to leave the town? Is that what you were saying? Or are you wanting to go somewhere with a dwarf? Or are you wanting to go to the mines? Or what were you saying? Like,
I would take the dwarf somewhere private and kill him.
okay. And then Fallon, what is Fallon going to be doing during this? You're muted, by the way, too. What is Fallon going to be doing during this exchange?
But just watching.
Just
Um,
watching.
He totally is struck that they all get distracted by this.
How did my business deal go with the barkeep?
Like I
He's-
said, distracted.
It's a successful deal because he sees everybody bought the fruit even though it's rotten.
Yeah, it went fine. He seems to have enjoyed the he seems to enjoy the ruse a little too much. Like he figures he charges his customers dirt cheap and is still charging way more than he should. But
I just lean over to him. We are like-minded, my friend.
he says he says I grew up on a ship too. He says I recognize the type.
I'm the captain. I lean into him. Perhaps you heard of my ship, the Burning Bitch.
He says, can't say as I have, but it's been a long time since I've been a landlubber. I've been a landlubber a long time now.
Ah, you lost your sea legs. I get it. Well, if you're ever interested in going back on the sea, and maybe you could find someone to run your bar while you own it, you're always welcome on my crew.
He says, maybe take this one, and he points to the young guy. He says, Gurgle's my son, but he needs to learn how to become useful.
Since you did me a favor and made a deal with this bard that I get a profit from, I will gladly take your child. And I just pick him up and carry him on my shoulder.
No, it's not a kid.
He's a full grown.
It's the boy, the man you went to get the tomatoes with.
Oh, I'll just pick him up and carry him on my shoulder regardless.
Okay. Okay. If you do that, if you pick him up and put him on your shoulder, he's going to bash his head on the ceiling. But fair enough. He kind of ducks down after he bashes his head a little bit, and
All right.
it's like, can you put me down? Can you put me down?
Oh, yes. Okay. Can you safely travel? And I tell him the city where my ship is docked at.
He says, "Dad, I gotta go to Sazale. All the
Yes.
uppity people live in Sazale."
Listen. My crew is in the docks. Tell them Captain Cutler sent you. You're a new hire.
Oh, I suppose. So let's go back to Jessa. Fallon, since you're the Moon Knight, are you where are you located? Are you on the ground? I mean, I knew you were in the one bar, but I mean, everybody's kind of migrated outdoors, like everybody in the parties.
Yes. So he stays in the shadows using his stealth and
Okay, give me a good stealth check.
switching.
Oh, I hope this goes extremely well. Yes.
Okay, Tessa, you follow the dwarf back to a ramshackle house, more of a hut, really. It's nestled in beside the Churnet River, where you see some like fishing nets and barrels and fishing equipment alongside the house. And he heads toward the front of the house. Hang on one second, I gotta.
Man, it's already 6:12.
And and we're gonna end there. But we're gonna decide. Are you going to before we end? Are you going to? He looks like he's heading somewhere, like either into his house or to the front of his house at least. Are you going to wait till he gets inside his house before you kill him? or are you going to? Okay, all right, and that's where we're gonna end with you getting ready to assassinate this dwarf guy. The
Could I
old Grizzler is his name.
could I convince the barkeep to be my debt collector for the bard?
He's coming
Is
all
the
the
bard
way.
staying here? I thought he was going to the next town too.
Yeah, wasn't he going to Heronshire?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
he's gonna go to Third Master also. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's even better. That means I have a chance to get to know him a little bit better as his manager.
Okay, so that and you know what? Give I don't think renown is specifically in order. I don't think we don't have any notoriety points. So
Infamy.
no infamy points. Yeah.
Actually, there is a system I could send you a book for. It is called Dragon Rin.
Yeah, it just gets to be it gets to be too much. Doing the renown and the infamy though. So just renown is what I'm sticking with. That and or piety. But I will do give everybody 300 XP each.
Woo!
Alright.
Oh,
300.
we're level 5s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what's the current XP?
We have enough to level up.
6585. We just leveled up.
Just leveled. Okay.
Yeah, we are leveled
Good
up.
Good
We
deal.
leveled up to level 5,
Oh,
so we're at 68.
Oh yeah, Cutlery wasn't here though, so I don't know. You weren't here last time,
It's
were you,
telling me,
James?
it's telling me I have enough for level 6.
Well, hang on, cause no, it always is it flashing?
No, but
It's
saying I
always
have
there.
6,000 Nobody updated my back number. I got you. What's the experience needed for level 6?
Good question. Have to
So
look.
we're currently at 6885 with that 300 gain.
Mm-hmm.
Or
60,000.
That. From level
Um,
5 level 6? Jesus.
Yeah, 6 is 14,000. Yeah.
Okay, well, we're a long way off from that.
Yeah.
We just leveled up.
What is our points at now? 6,000 what?
6885.
6885.
Thank
Okay.
you very much.
There you go. All right. And so you do see Fallon. You do notice that Tessa is going with this dwarf to the wharf, so to speak. The dwarf to the wharf. Anyway, so going to his little hut. His
You
little
heard the
hut,
opening
and he's
shelf.
going around the. Now it's dwarf from the wharf. Anyway, so and you kind of have suspicions on what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay,
he-
so I mean, you would kind of have an idea.
Yeah.
It's
and
idea,
if
specifically.
going down south because the graph is too tough of a nut to crack, he would intervene.
All right, so yeah, so and that is where we'll end for the day. And Wizard Forge, tell me about Wizard Forge, James.
I have not gotten a chance to do it yet because I went on vacation this weekend, but I do have to re-upload my review of Flea Mortals by MCDM. A viewer of the video that I originally had uploaded for it had pointed out that I had a apparently mic switch in the video that I didn't notice.
Ah, yep.
My actual mic switched to a garbage mic on my headset.
That's
so
fine.
I-
You should just
so-
keep it as that. Oh no.
No, because it was irritating. This mic makes my voice squeakier. So it was like high pitched as all hell, and it bothered even me. And I'm like, okay, yep, delete this, and I'll redo it. So tomorrow I'm planning on
was all
doing
like-
that. Tomorrow on Monday I'm planning on re-uploading that with a new cut of it, and I'm planning on doing a review of UA 8,
All
otherwise
right.
known as Unearth Arcana, which
Dion,
introduces the Bastion system.
the what? Bastion.
Bastion system.
Oh, that's the new UA. Yeah, UA 8. Yep. Okay. Yep.
We'll
I
have
did
a
hear a
review
little
of it.
bit about that, but I haven't read it yet. So, all right, Deontay.
Well, the good news is I will be returning to the streaming world this week, this Wednesday, after months of inactivity because the cosplay season is almost over and I am almost done making stuff. So finally, my energy can return to writing, my one true passion, in addition to the 15 other true passions I have. And I'll be streaming back Wednesday and who knows, days after that too. I intend to return in full.
All right, and where do they find you at?
That is
Twitch.
TAKEATRIPP Take a trip on stream.
Take a trip with 2 P's at the end. All right, and then anybody else need to promote anything? No? Yes? Okay. All right.
Actually, there's one other thing I would like to promote. Give me
Promote why my
one-
phone just keeps making noise. What the heck is going on over here? Stop sending me messages.
Blowing up.
Stop sending me messages, Deontay. I know you love me, but
There is a company that I have started working with. They're a small little company, no, not big time or nothing. They sell miniatures and a couple other things. I will go ahead and give you the link. Give me a second here. I should be able to just post it into the Twitch chat, right?
yeah.
What the fuck?
It looks
Here we
it,
go.
it looks like it worked on my end.
Okay. If it worked for everybody else, if you look in the chat, you will see a website. That is a company I officially am a
Sponsor for?
partner to.
Or okay, nice. All right. And I guess till 2 weeks. I think I'm actually going to have to cancel next weekend's Rise of the Drow campaign in advance. But either way, until 2 weeks from now, for the next No Good Deed session, may all your actions surge.
We actually plan on starting to make dice. The owner of the company just bought a dice mold set, and he's trying to learn
Who,
how to use
the
it.
Galopay one?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And Wednesday we're having a business meeting to see if the company wants to get me one as well. So if that is the case, I will also be making dice.
So you'll be making action surge dice? Is that what you're saying? And giving them out to all the
I'll tell you what. I will talk to the owner of the company about doing a promotion. How about that?
All right, yeah, sounds good. And then if we have action surge dice, we can do a giveaway type of thing.
I will talk to the owner about.
I'll buy my own because I'll have to have a set because you gotta have a set
I'll
of
talk
every
to the owner
dice.
about the promotion. We might not be able to fit the whole word of action surge, but if you can get a simple logo of maybe the A and the S or something.
True, maybe that one that Deontay's working on with the D4 thing, or it's a D8. It's actually D8, I think.
I'll see what
I don't know.
I'll
I can't
definitely
remember.
bring-
Is it D4? It is D4. Okay, yeah. All right,
I'll
the
see
shard
what I can
dice
do.
anyway. All right, and like I said, have a good one, guys.
Surge out.
Bye.